So, one of my big, I don't really deal with imposter syndrome too much, but being here, it's definitely the closest I've ever been. And one of the reasons I was apprehensive about wanting to do something like this is, I've been to songwriters rounds, and it's always really meaningful stuff, personal stuff, and some of my stuff's just kind of silly. And but it's real. I try not to write stuff down that I don't believe in or don't think is valid. But the past, really, I guess the past 12 years or so, this country has really felt like it's been in protest season, and a lot of songs that I write kind of start from, I'll have the idea of a title, and then I'll go back and be like, how do I make this song work with this title? And I just had the idea of this guy really wants to go to a protest somewhere, really wants to be a part of the action, but he ain't got a car, he ain't got a way to get there, and his friends don't really give a shit. So he's like, this song's called Couldn't Catch a Ride to the Revolution. Woke up this morning and I picked up my phone, gonna see what in the hell's going on. Scrolled every app from the front to the back, saw just enough to make me gag. And someone tweeted out, "That's it, I've had enough. Those boys up in DC think they're so tough. Well, I'm gonna make me a sign, I'm gonna huff and puff. I'm heading there now, they can call my bluff." So I thought, you know what, they might got a point. I figured I'll get up and blow this joint. So I called up my friends and I laid out my plan, asked if they could lend me a helping hand. They said, "What time will we be back?" I said, "I don't know, but if we stay on track, we can be a part of history and get what we need. It's our God-given right in this land of the free." Well, much to my surprise, they rolled their eyes, shrugged their shoulders and let out a sigh. Said, "How do you think we'll get out of this thing alive? Washington's about a 14-hour drive." You see, I did the math and I added up the gas. I really ain't trying to spend that kind of cash, let alone catch a charge or get hit by a car. Maybe we gotta watch this happen from afar. That's a banjo solo right there, y'all. And my stomach dropped when my jaw did too. I really didn't know what I was gonna do. You see, I had to think real quick, had to be real slick. If I didn't make it to Washington, I was gonna be sick. So I said, "Why don't you go ahead and carry me over there across the bay, over there to Mobile, and we can call it a day. I'll hop on a Greyhound and I'll get on out. Might take a little longer, but I'll be en route." So my friend conceded and gave me what I needed. We hopped in the truck and away we speeded. My newly, how's that go? So my friend conceded and gave me what I needed. I hopped in the car and away we speeded. I was heading west and I was heading north. My newly thought out plan was a setting forth. That's a dobro solo. Well, we pulled up to the station about 3:45. Jumped out so fast, I slammed the hell out of that door. My friend hollered out, "Oh, go take good care." And just like that, I was out of his hair. So I spent it to the queue and I got in line. And it looked like my plan was working out just fine. Then the ticket window shut, poof, and the sign said full. I said, "What kind of trick you trying to pull?" Well, the man said, "You're too late, son. Ticket sales are done. Bus is full." And just like that, my plan was finished. My part in history had been diminished. Well, first I was mad and I couldn't believe it. But on second thought, I could take it or leave it. So I smiled at the man and I gave up on my goal. And I pulled out my phone and I started to scroll. Because I couldn't catch a ride to the revolution. Bunch of people angry trying to find a solution. I just wanna help bring it to a resolution, but I couldn't catch a ride to the revolution. Yeah! I couldn't catch a ride to the revolution. Bunch of people angry trying to find a solution. Just wanna help bring it to a resolution, but I couldn't catch a ride to the revolution.